From Washington, this is VOA News. Coming up, the latest on the Syrian situation, Kenya breaking off its connection with the ICC. President Obama is pressing world leaders at the G20 summit in Russia to back a possible U.S. strike on Syria. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced plans to add Syria to the agenda shortly after summit participants arrived Thursday in St. Petersburg. Mr. Obama commented on Syria as he headed into a meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe.
I also look forward to having an extensive conversation about the situation in Syria. And I think our joint recognition that the use of chemical weapons in Syria is not only a tragedy, but also a violation of international law that must be addressed.
After the session, White House advisor Ben Rhodes said the two leaders were in agreement that the Syrian crisis demands a strong international response. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations says she sees no viable path forward on the Syria crisis in the Security Council. UN correspondent Margaret Bashir reports.
Ambassador Samantha Power told reporters that the United States has tried every avenue in the 15-nation Security Council to get action on Syria since 2011, but has been blocked by Russia. She said the United States believes the UN's most powerful organ should live up to its obligations and act, but that the system has failed.
Instead, the system has protected the prerogatives of Russia, the patron of a regime that would brazenly stage the world's largest chemical weapons attack in a quarter century, while chemical weapons inspectors sent by the United Nations were just across town.
Power accused Russia of holding the Security Council hostage and of shirking its international responsibilities. Margaret Bashir, VOA News, the United Nations.
A bomb exploded this week near a convoy carrying Egypt's interior minister. It was an attack authorities are calling an assassination attempt. Minister was unhurt, but several other people were wounded. Story now from VOA's Elizabeth Arrett.
Interior Minister Mohammed Ibrahim was just leaving his home in Cairo's Nasser City neighborhood when a blast hit near his convoy. Authorities initially pointed to a car bomb, but later said they suspected an explosive was thrown from a nearby building. Resident Raouf Mahmoud, who lives close to the minister, heard the blast.
People were running randomly. Just after that, there was 2 cars or 3 cars, black BMWs from the security guards cars. They were on fire. Just after that, 3 or 4 minutes, gunshots.
There were no immediate claims of responsibility for the blast. Elizabeth Arrett, VOA News, Cairo.
Kenya's parliament voted for the country to withdraw from the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court, where President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto, who are both accused of orchestrating violence after Kenya's 2007 elections, unrest which killed about 1,200 people. Mr. Ruto's trial scheduled to begin next week. Proceedings against Mr. Kenyatta scheduled for November. An American citizen who joined the Somali militant group al-Shabaab says he is no longer a member of that group or al-Qaeda, although he considers himself a terrorist. Omar Hamani made the comments in a VOA telephone interview. A senior State Department official says Hamani was indicted by a federal grand jury, and the U.S. government remains interested in any information that would lead to his arrest. International Olympic Committee is meeting in Buenos Aires, Argentina this week and will vote Saturday on the host city for the 2020 Summer Olympics. The 3 bidding cities are Tokyo, Istanbul, and Madrid. U.S. Forest Service says that a large wildfire that has consumed vast forest in one of the country's best-known national parks was caused by a hunter who lost control of an illegal campfire. No arrest has been made in that case. More than 4,300 firefighters continue to battle raging flames in and near the Yosemite National Park. That's in the western state of California. Officials say the wildfire that began more than 2 weeks ago is now 80% contained, but that it may still be another 2 weeks before it is extinguished. Here in Washington, Smithsonian Institution officials say the 2-week-old giant panda cub at the National Zoo is a female. They also revealed on Thursday the cub's father, the National Zoo panda Tian Tian. The panda mother, Mei Zhang, was artificially inseminated with sperm from Tian Tan and from a San Diego Zoo panda named Gao Gao. A DNA sample was collected to determine the cub's father. More news at voanews.com.